journalist Fabrizio Romano provided a relevant update on the future of Ademola Lookman, Atlanta's Nigerian star, who has been attracting interest from Italian football giants and whose decision could directly impact Manchester United's transfer plans this summer. At 27, Lookman has established himself as one of the biggest names in Serie A since arriving in Bergamo in 2022. In 3 seasons with Atlanta, the striker became a key player in Gianpiero Gasparini's system, winning over fans with his speed, technique, and versatility in the final third. His peak was undoubtedly the 2023-24 season, when he played a key role in the historic UEFA Europa League triumph, scoring an unforgettable hat-trick in the final against Bayer Leverkusen, a performance that catapulted him to idol status in Lombardy. However, the following season was not so smooth. In 2024-25, Lookman faced challenges on and off the field, including a controversial episode with then-coach Gasparini following Atlanta's elimination in the UEFA Champions League quarter-finals to Club Brugge. At the time, Gasparini publicly criticized the striker's performance, particularly his failed penalty kick, which caused tension behind the scenes and weakened the relationship between the two. With Gasparini's departure as coach, there was speculation that Lookman might reconsider staying at the club. However, sources close to the player say he believes it is the ideal time to pursue new challenges in his career. In recent weeks, Inter Milan has emerged as the leading candidate for his signature, surpassing interest from other Italian clubs such as Napoli. This information was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano on his Italian YouTube channel, where the journalist revealed that Lookman has already agreed on a salary with the Nerazzurri. This move could have direct repercussions in England, especially at Old Trafford. According to updates from the also highly regarded Gianluca Di Marzio, Inter had identified Jadon Sancho as an alternative if they were unable to sign Lookman. With the personal agreement between Lookman and Inter practically finalized, the need to pursue Sancho may be ruled out, a setback for Manchester United, which sees the Italian market as one of the main opportunities to offload the English striker. Sancho, sidelined by Erik ten Hag and no longer in the club's plans, is one of the top names on the list of exits this summer. Although Inter's interest has cooled, another Italian giant, Juventus, remains steadfast in its pursuit of the player. According to several Italian media outlets, the Bianconeri have already made progress in negotiations with Sancho's staff, and there is optimism regarding the possibility of a loan deal with an option to buy. Another important aspect of the potential outcome for Lookman concerns striker Rasmus Højlund. The young Dane, currently at Manchester United, had been monitored by Inter Milan, who were considering a possible move if they were unable to secure Lookman. With the deal for the Nigerian close to being finalized, this possibility is fading, relieving United of another potential negotiation involving a player from their squad. However, not everything is settled. Despite the agreement between Lookman and Inter Milan, the Milan club has yet to reach an agreement with Atlanta. The Bergamo club is demanding €50 million from Italian clubs interested in the player, but would be willing to accept a €40 million offer from teams outside Serie A. This reopens a window of opportunity for Manchester United, which has maintained good commercial relations with Atlanta in the past, such as during the transfers of Amad Diallo and Højlund himself. In light of this, speculation arises: could the Red Devils reconsider their long-standing interest in Ademola Lookman? The striker offers exactly the kind of versatility and attacking intensity that United needs to bolster their squad, especially considering the planned departures this summer. Furthermore, the discount offered to foreign clubs could make the deal more financially viable, crucial for a club that also needs to maintain its financial stability after heavy investments in recent seasons. It's worth noting that Lookman also fits the profile of a player who can play in multiple attacking positions, something valued by modern coaches. His recent high-performance record in European competitions and his experience in various leagues, Premier League, Bundesliga, and now Serie A, make him an attractive prospect in the market. For Inter, Lookman's arrival represents a significant reinforcement as they attempt to maintain their high level after a season in which they reached the Champions League final. For Manchester United, he represents both a threat and an opportunity, a threat if Sancho does indeed end up going to a direct European rival, and an opportunity if they decide to act quickly and present a competitive offer to secure Lookman. In the coming days, the developments in this negotiation are likely to gain new chapters, especially as Inter tries to convince Atlanta to soften its position. Meanwhile, United are watching closely, aware that the outcome could directly influence their transfer market. Bryan Mbeumo set to be unveiled by Manchester United as transfer saga nears conclusion. Manchester United fans have reason to celebrate as the club moves ever closer to confirming the signing of Bryan Mbeumo, bringing to a close one of the longest and most talked about transfer sagas of the summer. Following the successful acquisition of Matheus Cunha from Wolverhampton Wanderers in early June, thanks to the activation of the Brazilian £62.5 million release clause, the focus quickly shifted to signing a dynamic new winger. Brentford star winger, Bryan Mbeumo, emerged as the club's top target to bolster their right-back position. However, unlike Cunha's relatively quick transfer, the pursuit of the 25-year-old Cameroonian proved much more time-consuming and frustrating. For over a month, fans watched negotiations with Brentford stall and restart several times. The sticking point? The lack of a release clause in Mbeumo's contract. Brentford, aware of the player's value in United's interest, stood firm on its £70 million valuation, a figure initially considered excessive by the Red Devils. Manchester United's first offer, estimated at around £55 million, was quickly rejected. A second, improved offer also failed to convince the Brentford board. But with manager Ruben Amorim pushing behind the scenes to have Mbeumo as part of his squad ahead of the team's preseason tour of the USA, and with few alternatives available on the market who matched the winger's profile, United decided to find a middle ground for Brentford. The decision finally came over the weekend, when the club submitted a third and final offer worth £65 million upfront plus £6 million in performance-related add-ons. Brentford accepted, and according to several reliable sources, including Sully, a well-known Manchester United insider, the deal is now closed. There's a growing consensus, from what I've heard, that Bryan Mbeumo's transfer announcement will be today, Monday. God bless him, Sully posted on X, formerly Twitter, further fueling anticipation among fans. If the club sticks to this timeline, Bryan Mbeumo could be officially announced as a Manchester United player within hours, potentially joining the Carrington squad the same day. This would be a significant boost for Amorim, who is eager to integrate the player into the team as quickly as possible. Bryan Mbeumo has long been admired for his creativity, intelligence, and work rate. Since Brentford's promotion to the Premier League, the former Troyes youth player has been one of the Bees' most consistent performers. He scored 9 goals and 8 assists in the 2023-24 season, despite a mid-season ankle injury that sidelined him for several weeks. What sets Mbeumo apart is his versatility. Although predominantly a right winger, he can operate in any front three, making him a perfect fit for Amorim's fluid attacking system. His high pressing intensity and ability to cut inside with his stronger left foot make him an ideal modern winger, especially for a United side that struggled at times last season with width and accuracy. Furthermore, his international experience with Cameroon bolsters his credentials. Mbeumo excelled at the 2022 FIFA World Cup and continued to impress in the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Timing is crucial. Manchester United are due to fly to Chicago on Tuesday to begin their preseason tour of the US, and Amorim is determined to have Mbeumo on board. The team has already kicked off their preparations with a goalless draw against Leeds United in Stockholm, and upcoming games on American soil include clashes against West Ham, July 27, Bournemouth, July 31, and Everton, August 4. United will conclude preseason with a high-profile match against Fiorentina at Old Trafford on August 9, which will likely serve as a dress rehearsal for the Premier League opener. Having Mbeumo available for these matches would allow Amorim to begin shaping his ideal front line, potentially alongside Matheus Cunha and Rasmus Højlund, assuming the Danish striker remains amid interest from Italian clubs. The new attacking trio would offer pace, unpredictability, and movement, a stark contrast to last season's often stagnant attacking performances. What this means for United's transfer strategy. Mbeumo's arrival is expected to have a ripple effect on Manchester United's transfer strategy. The club is still working to offload several players, Cunha and now Mbeumo. As a result, future acquisitions may depend on player sales, particularly in midfield and defense, where Amorim is reportedly seeking reinforcements. Mbeumo is believed to have completed the first part of his medical in London on Monday morning and will travel to Manchester to finalize the remaining formalities, including signing his contract and meeting with the media. Assuming everything goes according to plan, fans can expect an official club announcement from Manchester United by the end of the day, perhaps accompanied by the now traditional video presentation. Until then, the red half of Manchester awaits with bated breath.